As a Christian working woman over 40, are you struggling with consistently low energy and tiredness, but sick of the confusing midlife info out there? Are you tired of that menopausal belly bloat and worried you will always have that annoying brain fog feeling? Been there. But right here is where you get clarity and hope through biblical and holistic health solutions. Hi, I'm Michelle, holistic health coach and fellow midlifer. As the heartbeat of your home, decide right now in this season to partner with God with discipline, intentionality, and commitment to changing your life at midlife. If you're ready to stop chasing the world's way of health and be your healthiest whole self with more energy and less brain fog than you have had in a while, then you're in the right place. Grab your herbal tea, Bible, notebook, and pen, and let's treasure your wellness. Hi, welcome back to the Treasured Wellness Podcast. I'm your host, Michelle, and I'm a holistic and functional health coach who helps Christian female professional leaders to regain energy and reduce foggy thinking so that they can continue to lead with confidence in their whole health. And we are on part 5 of our summer self-care series where we are learning how we can give ourselves physical self-care in pretty much free or very, very inexpensive ways. So you're getting these tips. So if you have missed any of them, go back and listen. This is part 5. We are finishing it off. And I'm just curious, what episode has been your favorite? Like, if you have a favorite, let me know. And today, being our last tip, we are talking about castor oil. Have you been seeing the craze on social media about castor oil? It's been on YouTube, it's been on TikTok, it's Instagram, Facebook, it's been everywhere, right? In the wellness world, things are always coming back around for people to kind of jump on bandwagons, and this particular bandwagon of castor oil is no exception, really. I mean, everybody's talking about the miracle that it is, and a lot of influencers are talking about it and showing videos of amazing results. So I want to, because this is part of my self-care routine, I had to be in the self-care series, right? So let's give some background. What is castor oil and why should you care? So castor oil is from the castor bean plant that is mainly cultivated in Africa, South America, and India. And a fun fact, India actually accounts for over 90% of castor oil exports globally, 90%. That's huge. So there's vitamin E and ricinoleic acid, which is a unique fatty acid that stimulates liver detoxification and supports overall liver function. So it's a really important acid. And castor oil is one of the oldest cultivated crops. Hello, biblical crop, Bible times. The word kikayon in the book of Jonah in King James, the King James Version, has been translated as castor oil plant in some cases. But admittedly, there's still some debate about that. But it is fairly certain that castor oil was used in biblical times for cosmetic and medicinal uses. So remember, God has given us everything that we need for our health and life. Why would we not use the amazing gifts that He has given us with all of the natural resources that we have? And castor oil is no exception. It's also been known as Palma Christi or the Palm of Christ, which is like super cool, right? But this oil is known to have many, many wellness properties, and we're going to be talking about that today. So castor oil penetrates really deeply in the skin, and it can break up adhesions and lumps and bumps. I want to talk about how people are using castor oil, okay? So they're using it in their belly button, believe it or not. I don't know if you've heard that one. They're putting a drop or two of castor oil in their belly button. They're putting it on their face for like wrinkles and just clear complexion, smoothing out lines, on your skin as a body lotion, to lose weight, to melt body fat, to grow eyelashes and eyebrows and hair in general. It helps to stimulate hair growth and to help with constipation. there are some holistic ways, of course, that castor oil helps to bring some potential healing to the body. So like I mentioned, the lumps and bumps, cysts, lumps, bumps, even hemorrhoids, it's been very helpful for digestive support, bloating, gas, constipation. It has a mild stimulant laxative effect, especially when you take it orally. I don't necessarily recommend you taking it orally, and I'll get into that later, but it helps with cramps. It helps with like menstrual cycle cramps. Honestly, that is how I discovered it, was when I was in my research, doing my research many years ago, when our daughter was a young teen and she was having a lot of cramps. So we discovered that and we started doing castor oil packs, which again, I'll get into all of that. It helps to support liver and gallbladder detoxification. It helps lymphatic drainage. It can dilute the bile ducts to improve flow. It helps with pain and swelling. Now, I will say, the conventional medicine will say that castor oil and all the hype is not true, and it's actually not good for you. And I was able to find this article from family medicine physician Kevin Hopkins, MD. He says that there's no need for castor oil ever. And to quote him, he says, "I'll be honest, in all my years of practice, I've never recommended it to anyone." End quote. He debunks the many myths that suddenly surround castor oil, because historically, castor oil was used as a natural way to help stimulate labor. And as recently as 2018, there was a study of more than 300 pregnant women who took a castor oil cocktail. Yum, right? It's usually mixed with a few tablespoons. You take a few tablespoons of oil and you mix it with like juice, like orange juice or apple juice. And they found that 91% gave birth vaginally with little to no complications. But that doesn't mean that it's risk-free. Castor oil is known to cause an upset stomach and diarrhea, which aren't problems you want to have when you're giving birth. And on a more serious level, castor oil is associated with rapid contractions and decreased blood flow to the baby. This is the article that I found. Dr. Hopkins warns you should never take castor oil for labor without your healthcare provider's support and guidance. What to try instead? He says there are no guaranteed ways to naturally induce labor. Nipple stimulation is a natural way to increase oxytocin levels, is really the only method with data to back it up. Okay, done with the article. This is back to me. With all due respect, Dr. Hopkins, there are many more ways to naturally induce labor than just by nipple stimulation. But I will concur about drinking castor oil. So let me just share a quick story. In my first pregnancy, I had a midwife who was absolutely wonderful. And both of my kids were born on holidays, not like big holidays, but like President's Day and Memorial Day. So hospital, staff was light, staff was low. So my midwife sent me home and she said a couple of things. She said, if this baby gets any bigger, we're going to have to do a C-section, which I did not want. And then she said, go home and try castor oil. So she gave me the little concoction, the tonic, and it was absolutely horrible. Not going to lie. I could probably drink it now. Haven't. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll try it again. But I really don't have a need to. But anyway, so I drank that, mixed it with orange juice, and to his point, to Dr. Hopkins' point, I did have a lot of cramping and I did have some diarrhea. Did it bring me into labor? No. So I was not part of that percentage where it worked for me. It did not. Gave me diarrhea, lots of cramping, and I just felt really tired and wanted to go back to sleep, which I did. So I had to do other ways to try to naturally stimulate the labor process, which also did not work for me at that time. So everybody's different. Every situation is different. So yes and no, right? I will say that labor aside, castor oil can help with hair growth. It can, when I'm going through what it can help you with, this is what conventional medicine is saying is dangerous. So it does help with hair growth. However, it will say it's a danger because it can cause scalp dermatitis. It can help with eye health. Not really sure about the science on that. I have not dove into that. But a caution they have is it can cause irritation and chemical-induced burn damage. I personally do not see how it would cause a chemical-induced burn. But anyway, skin health, irritation, and contact dermatitis is a caution. So let me go back to Dr. Hopkins. He reiterates, quote, "There's just no need to use castor oil for anything related to your health and wellness. For every instance in which social media users claim you can use castor oil, there are other scientifically proven methods that work better and are safer," end quote. Okay, but apparently all of the medications offered are much healthier and safer than something that is natural and from the earth. Yeah, I doubt it. And I have seen some of the nasty side effects from scientifically proven methods, and I'm not against science, but come on, we have a natural product that is from the earth that God created and gave us, and just because it might not go with your science brain does not mean it's not true, does not work. I mean, there's the whole creation evolution story right there in a nutshell too, right? That whole connection. But in each of the suggestions given in the article that I read, Dr. Hopkins named specialists to see instead. You've got contact dermatitis, go see this dermatologist. So that's big business, guys. Remember, sickness sells. Sickness is big business. And following a natural and holistic way of helping your body to heal and recover and be well, that doesn't bring money. It doesn't bring money to the organizations that are funding these medications and all of that. So follow the money trail. I will say that when I first learned about castor oil, again, because I had learned about it before, I had known about it obviously before my midwife taught me about it. And then, life, you just don't think about it. And of course, back then, 30 years ago, I was not in the holistic wellness world that I am now, that I have been for the last 20 years. So a little bit different. But when I learned about it again, it was brought back to my attention about 12 years ago, and how powerful it was for the body. I quickly shared this with my daughter, who at the time, like me as a teenager, she had debilitating cramps each month and a really heavy flow. So I bought organic hexane-free castor oil. We already had a rice bag, and I'll show you that in a minute. Once a month, I would rub castor oil on her belly and give her a little massage, and then place a large piece of saran wrap over her stomach. This is what we did back in the day. And then we would place the heated rice bag on top. So she would do this until the bag cooled, which was roughly 15, maybe 20 minutes. And then she'd wash it all off, take a shower, whatever. Now, of course, I stopped using plastic wrap for obvious reasons, right? The plastic next to the skin is not a good idea. You're leaching plastic into, phthalates and plastic all into your skin. Not good. Your skin's your largest organ. So once I realized, as I was learning more and more, and really, it can be simple as a piece of like an old cotton flannel t-shirt or something, right? That you can just rip up and use that. So easy. So I stopped that, and I switched to the clean organic flannel or like organic cotton cloths. Organic is key, and I'll go into that a little bit more, but honestly, this helped her overnight. If her period wasn't starting, but she was in a lot of pain, it would start the next morning, and her cramps would abate. It's kind of how it goes, right? So she was kind of my main guinea pig, you would say, to help kind of be my test subject maybe for the power of castor oil. Now, I also used this method myself for stomach bloating and for ovary pain. It was really helpful. And I also used it to naturally detox my liver and support my gallbladder when I was having some weird gallbladder pain one time. Guys, this is super messy. Not gonna lie, it's messy, but yet is very, very effective. So what other ways have I tried castor oil? Okay, I have right now a ganglion cyst on my wrist. I was putting castor oil on my wrist every single night, just leaving it on there, going to bed every single night for, I think, 2 or 3 weeks. Honestly, I didn't have a whole lot of patience. I didn't really notice a real change other than it got really soft. I felt like maybe it was shrinking a little bit, but I wasn't sure. I didn't have enough patience, I guess, to continue doing it. Because again, it's sticky. But putting it on my face, I actually did a little experiment where I did just half of my face with castor oil and the other half with like my regular oil that I use for my face or lotion. And I, just to see if my wrinkles were any different, see if my skin seemed smoother. I didn't notice a side-by-side difference, and I honestly did not stick with that for more than 2 weeks because I just like, you know what? I know it's good for me. I'm just going to put it all over my face. So that wasn't a great experiment. But I will say I have not necessarily noticed that my wrinkles are diminished, but my skin is so much softer. And it just seems smoother to me. I did try it on stretch marks. Yeah, even 27 years ago, I tried it on my stretch marks most recently, even though they've been there for 27 years. I did not notice a difference specifically, but again, maybe I'm just not having enough patience to do it every night, to put this into my skincare routine every single night for months on end. Like, how long does it take? I don't know. I'm pretty good with my PM routine, my AM and PM routines, my wind down routines, my fueled up routines. But you'll see if you have ever tried or never tried castor oil and you try it, the stickiness can be a detraction. So let me tell you about what I love and love and love about castor oil. As greasy as castor oil is, it does not clog your pores, which is why we can put it on our face, right? So if you suffer from acne, it can actually help your acne, even though you would feel like it's the opposite. It has amazing benefits for your gut. It is a great support for your liver and gallbladder. And I share this with my clients often. And I love how effective it has been in helping my daughter with her cramping. I love how it has been around for centuries and was used in biblical times. I love that using castor oil as a pack gives you self-care support, helps you to stop and rest for the 20 minutes that it's on your skin. So I want to talk about that right now. There's other things I love about it, but those are just off the top of my head. Okay. Before I get into the castor oil pack, I want to talk about some do's, okay? Do's if you try castor oil. Check with your doctor if you are also using bioidentical hormone cream to be sure that you can use it together, okay? You probably won't be putting castor oil the same place that you put the cream, so this is just an extra precaution, but it's worth saying. You want to dilute the castor oil if you don't like the stickiness. So dilute it with one of your favorite clean organic oil, lotion, sorry. You want clean, extra virgin, cold pressed, unrefined, organic castor oil in a glass container. Okay, this is what I use. And you can see a nice dark brown bottle, and it's in a glass bottle. It's not plastic. We do not want it to be in plastic because the chemicals in the plastic are leaching into the castor oil, defeating the purpose. Okay, so it should not have a scent. It should not have a scent. Rancid, shelf life. There's rancid. If it smells like there's a scent, it's probably rancid because there's a shelf life. Really, and on Amazon and third-party sellers, I mean, everywhere, you could be getting something beyond the shelf life. So you want hexane-free, Okay. You want to use clean, 100% organic essential oils if you want to add that in to make a nice, relaxing scent. And message me if you want to know where you can get the ones that I use. And you want to add moist heat. I like moist heat, but if all you have is an electric heating pad, use that as well. You can use a hot water bottle, but I like a rice pack, and you can purchase these pretty much anywhere, Bed Bath & Beyond or whatever, or you can make your own. You know, I've made my own too. I've made some bigger ones so that they literally wrap around from side to side, from, you know, around my waist, so that I'm covering the whole abdomen area. So that's really nice too. That the heat helps to help the oil absorb into the skin better. Okay. Now I want to talk about some don'ts. Don't ingest it. Now I may be overly cautious here. It has been 30 years since I did that. So I don't want to sound like a hypocrite. I did ingest it, but it was 30 years ago. So nowadays people are on a lot of medication. Message me, by the way, if you want to get off some of yours, because that is a very plausible plan, and it absolutely can be done. Several of my clients have done that happily and are still off them and feeling amazing. So that's an excellent goal if that is what you would like to do. But since so many people are on medications, there might be some interactions where when you ingest, I don't know, so I'm telling you not to. I'm telling you to go check with your doctor. Your doctor knows what you're taking. Now, I think I read somewhere, or maybe I heard this on a video somewhere, but there are over 200 contraindications with medication and castor oil that is ingested. Okay, so we can't just jump on bandwagons because an influencer says it's a great thing and it works so great for him or her, right? And that leads me to the next don't. Do not purchase castor oil or castor oil packs from companies that use inorganic materials. This has become a big business, guys. Castor oil packs. You can find them all over the internet, all over Amazon. And when I was trying to find a pack for my daughter to help with her cramps last year, every single one I saw within a reasonable price was made of inorganic material, made in China, and other places that may not be using true clean ingredients or materials. Even the ones that said organic, you've got to be careful. You have to dig deep, you have to read the small print, and you have to be your own best investigator, right? Be your own detective. Investigate, because this is for your health and the health of your family, and your health is your legacy, guys. So we want to be careful that we are not putting knowingly more toxins into our bloodstream. Our skin is our largest organ. So it's really, really important. It's serious. So bamboo, cotton, they can be blended with plastic fibers that have phthalates in them, which are hormone disruptors. Hello, we do not need any more disrupting going on in our hormones, right, ladies? We want to be detoxing, and we want to be flushing the toxins out, not adding more toxins in. So my recommendations are organic cotton or wool flannel. And I had an organic cotton pad, but I recently used it, so it's in the wash, so I couldn't show it to you. But I literally just found a site that had organic, clean organic cotton. That was it, 100% clean organic. So if you are buying organic cotton for like your grandbaby, that would be a great place to start. Look for those burpers, those burp cloths, organic cotton, or you could do wool flannel. So this is why, the Lord has been kind of showing me the last few weeks that I want to be more of an impactor. Just bear with me for a minute. I want to be more of an impactor instead of an influencer. I really could care less about being an influencer. That's never been my goal. It's never been my goal. It's still not my goal. It never will be my goal. But if through the work that I am doing, I am impacting you to treasure your temple, then guess what? With the changes that you make, you are then impacting your family, because you are the heartbeat of your home, ladies, right? Whether you have kids at home or not, whether you are single or married, you still impact your family. You still have impact, and you are still the heartbeat of your home. So as you bring this knowledge and this implementation, and you are impacting yourself to get well and be well, it trickles down into the family unit and it impacts others. So in your personal family, in your friend circle, in your church family, the family of God, right? And isn't that what it's really all about? God's family, right? God's kingdom. So let me just wrap up. You got your heat pack. You got your glass organic castor oil. Now, I need to address the foggy and fatigue situation. Will castor oil help you to not feel so tired and foggy? Yes, it absolutely can, in a roundabout way, because it's gently helping your body detox. It's supporting your liver to flow better, which is removing those harmful toxins. You don't want them in the body. We are constantly inundated with toxins in our environment, our food, our water, everything. So if you are specifically using castor oil for this purpose, yes, the liver plays one of the largest roles in detoxing. The skin is your first. And most of us have abused our liver throughout a lifestyle of poor choices, right? Lifestyle habits, eating habits, drinking, whatever. So showing the liver some love is very necessary and very important. When you're doing a castor oil pack, you are placing it directly over the liver above the right rib cage. And with a little massage, add some heat, plus resting and breathing during your 20 minutes. You can put it on your lower abdomen, just all the way around. Rub it in, massage, give yourself a little massage. Really resting, guys, not scrolling social media or checking emails, really resting, okay? Then the liver will be able to flow through easier and not be so congested, okay? So a congested or sluggish liver does lead to brain fog and fatigue, among other things. I will link in the show notes episode 205, where I do an episode on liver health, so be sure to catch that. So, the bottom line, is it worth looking into? Absolutely. I believe so. So if you use castor oil, if you have already used it, if you're going to use it, if you love castor oil, I would love to know that. Let me know. You can pop into the group Holistic Health for Christian Women Over 40 and share. You can shoot me a message at michelle@treasuredwellness.com. And I just want to leave you with this. You need to understand that daily fatigue and foggy thinking is not normal. It's not your new normal. It's not normal, period. Just because something is common doesn't make it normal. So if that is you, if you are struggling with daily fatigue and foggy thinking, you need my free Foggy and Fatigue Freedom Over 40 blueprint, so that you can see how simple and doable taking small steps daily can help you to regain more energy and start thinking clearly again. That is what you want, right? Absolutely. We all want that. You are taking the first step in being your own best advocate by listening to Treasured Wellness, because you're here. So take the second step by downloading the free blueprint that is also going to be in the description, and you can start putting these easy steps into motion. So the link will be in the description, and you can also share with a friend, share this episode with a friend. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel and share that as well. And let's go ahead and go to the Lord in prayer. Lord God, we thank you that you have given us everything on this earth for us to use. Thank you that in your wisdom you knew that we would need these things like castor oil to help our body do what it's designed to do if we give it the right tools and support. So Lord, we just thank you for that. We love you and we bless your holy name. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay, until next time, treasure your wellness. See you soon. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, my friend. I hope it challenged you. I hope it encouraged you and stretched you in some way. And if it did, would you stop right now and share this episode with a coworker, a biz bestie, a friend, or sister who has also been praying for a breakthrough in her whole health? Also, it would bless me so much if you would pop on over to Apple Podcasts and just leave me a quick review to let me know how much you are enjoying the content. And this really does help other women just like you to find the show. Treasured Wellness can also be found on Christian Mix 106 and over on YouTube. One more thing, come on over to our Facebook community, Holistic Health for Christian Women Over 40. I would love to see you there. Until next time, remember you are a beautiful treasure, and good health in body, soul, and spirit is your birthright.